don't forget to check out Jordan's video with Jill Stein where she talks about the recount. Second quick plug, don't forget to check out Jordan's video where he gets into a confrontation with police. Ooh, so very exciting stuff. So, want to talk a little bit about Donald Trump's cabinet appointments. They are predictably deplorable, but first, I want to actually give Donald Trump a little bit of credit. So, big story that came out yesterday, I believe, New York saved some jobs for the U.S. So that's what he said he was going to do, and looks like he may have succeeded even before he was even president. So, of course, President Obama would have been like, oh, but the corporations, oh, I just want to play patty cakes with them. No, Trump basically said, I'm threatening your government contracts if you move these jobs to Mexico. So what Trump did was Carrier is an air conditioning company that is based in Indiana, and he was going to move, their Carrier was going to move 2,000 jobs from Indiana to Mexico. Trump and Mike Pence, presumably, who's, I guess, maybe in charge of running foreign and domestic policy if reports are to be believed, Mike Pence is going to be, Mike Pence and Donald Trump convinced this Indiana company to keep half of those jobs in the United States. So those jobs, that 2,000 of them would have gone to Mexico, 1,000 of them are going to remain here. This is Carrier, it's an air conditioning company. Great, but knowing Donald Trump, there's gotta be a payoff. And knowing Donald Trump's cabinet, there's gonna be a payoff. So, I want to give you guys a little bit of the... See, now we have bad connection again. Ugh. Let's see. Maybe this makes it better. Okay. See, now you get my hand in the face. So, some of that payoff is going to be involving Donald Trump's businesses to Wall Street and, or business ties to Wall Street and some of the cabinet positions that are going to be filled in because of that. So Donald Trump said he was going to drain the swamp and that everything was going to be hunky-dory and that all of the evil people in Washington, all of Obama's Citigroup cabinet appointees, which is true, were going to be gone, and now we were just going to have down-home conservatives who are going to bring back your jobs, and they're going to take all those corrupt people away, and you people in the middle of the country, you're getting your jobs back. He's delivered on that in Indiana, but we know that there's got to be a payoff, and we know that that payoff has got to have long-term consequences. The reason we know there's going to be a payoff is, look at his cabinet. So, Stephen Mnuchin, which is the biggest one, was just appointed to Treasury Secretary. Now, Mnuchin is as swampy as it gets, but I also want to tell you the other ones. Wilbur Ross is going to be Secretary of Commerce, and Todd Ricketts is going to be Deputy Secretary of Commerce. So, but let's start with Mnuchin, because this one contains a plethora of ironies that I would love to unpack. So, Mnuchin served as Donald Trump's campaign finance chair during the campaign. Mnuchin didn't come on until April, which was a part of the massive blow-up that happened when you transitioned from Manafort's management to Paul Manafort. When he was managing Donald Trump's campaign, things were going extremely poorly, and then you transitioned to Steve Bannon and Kellyanne Conway. Those were the two people that got Donald Trump elected, that made sure that he wasn't a psycho at every turn. In the end, they had to take his Twitter away from him at the end of the campaign. So those are the two people that were kind of responsible for Donald Trump getting elected. Those people were backed by Robert Mercer. Robert Mercer is a massive GOP ideologue funder. So Robert Mercer is not of the ilk of the Koch brothers who just want corporatists, like they would have loved Mitt Romney to be president. Or their favorite politician is Scott Walker in Wisconsin. People that will just do what they want. No, the Mercers are nuts. So the Mercers love Ted Cruz. The Mercers don't like Mitt Romney. That's part of the reason why Mitt Romney, but why there's so much of a backlash against Mitt Romney and there's so much infighting in the Donald Trump campaign. But Mnuchin was right up their alley. I believe. There's no, it's hard to know because there's conflicting reports, but Mnuchin was a part of that same team that came on. So Mnuchin came on in April when the campaign's fundraising was barely in existence, and so he was also involved deeply in developing the president-elect's tax proposals, which could deliver as much as $6 trillion in tax reductions over 10 years. But NPR says also might contribute to larger budget deficits. Do you think? So Mnuchin, predictably, someone who used to be on Wall Street. Mnuchin spent 17 years at Goldman Sachs. Drain the swamp, guys. Drain the swamp. Where he was a partner and is now the chief executive at Dune Capital Management, a privately owned hedge fund. So, another little needling of the drain the swampers who were conned by Donald Trump. Here's some more. Over the years, Mnuchin has contributed to both Republican and Democratic candidates, including, wait for it, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Oh my god, I'm laughing so much inside. Drain the swamp. Lock her up. But after I give her money. In 2009, Mnuchin put together a group of billionaire investors, including... we gotta build it up. Drum roll, please. George Soros. That is so funny to me. What do you have to say about that, Alex Jones? InfoWars? George Soros owns everything. Actually, he's BFFs with the Treasury Secretary of your candidate. They went into business together. Oh, George Soros, he owns everything, including Donald Trump. Oh, God. Okay, that's hilarious to me. So, in 2009, Mnuchin put together a group of billionaire investors, including his BFF, George Soros, and hedge fund titan John Paulson, that bought failed California-based bank IndyMac and a big mortgage lender. The FDIC agreed to absorb the losses of the bank above a certain threshold. I just had too much fun there. The bank was renamed One West Bank, and Mnuchin became its chairman and CEO. The bank developed a reputation during the recession for being quick to foreclose on delinquent homeowners, closing on more than 36,000 households under Mnuchin. And according to the housing advocacy group, California Reinvestment Coalition. So this guy was very excited to foreclose on people who couldn't pay back their loans. Seems like a great guy to have Treasury Secretary. In 2011, it was so bad that protesters went to Mnuchin's Bel Air mansion with a sign that read, "Stop taking our homes." So this guy doesn't... I know, I get it. He's a capitalist, and that's what you got to do. But is that exactly the public servant that we want as our Treasury Secretary? That's what's scary. So, fun's over. But yeah, Mnuchin was a part of Trump's transition team overseeing cabinet positions. So, along with Robert Mercer, Mnuchin was involved in appointing cabinet positions. So he ended up just appointing himself. I guess Robert Mercer saw him as sufficiently psycho enough to be the Secretary of Treasury. So basically, we can get a check mark that, we can get Mercer's check mark on this. So meaning that Robert Mercer approved of Stephen Mnuchin, and meaning that we should all be very afraid of Stephen Mnuchin, because Robert Mercer, not the best dude. So, some other fun facts. Mnuchin and his wife, Heather, have donated almost $500,000 since 1995 to some unlikely recipients. Heather, the wife of Mnuchin, gave $2,700 to Clinton last May. So, the wife of Trump's Treasury Secretary gave to Hillary Clinton, his exact opponent, last May, and since 2000, the couple has given $13,400 to Clinton's Senate and presidential campaigns. So they're fans of Hillary Clinton. No, they like those tax breaks too. Doesn't matter if she's a Democrat. While the majority of their cash this year went to Republicans, the couple doled out funds to Jason Kander, who lost the Missouri state race. They also gave to Kamala Harris, who is considered by many in the establishment as a potential she's more progressive than Gillibrand or Booker, yes, but considered as a potential presidential pick in 2020. So they gave $2,000 to her. This is the Treasury Secretary for Donald Trump. And you know what? That's just because it's just business, baby. It's just business. They want to make money, so they want to bribe politicians so that they can get their tax breaks. It's just business, baby. When I see an opportunity, I see Kamala Harris, she could be pretty much bought off, maybe. I see Hillary Clinton, she can definitely be bought off. I see Donald Trump, definitely we can buy him off. So that's the business opportunity that's presented to me. Just business. That's how our democracy has devolved. Another interesting note, Bloomberg reported Mnuchin could save millions in taxes with the help of a 1989 rule that past secretaries such as Henry Paulson have used in order to satisfy conflict of interest rules. He could sell stock without paying taxes on them if he puts the money he gains into treasury notes. It's just business, baby. Becoming secretary treasurer, just business. I can save some taxes by using this loophole. Psh, awesome. Just business. So that's the kind of swampy guy that Donald Trump has appointed to his cabinet. Here's another, Wilbur Ross. Wilbur Ross is going to be Secretary of Commerce. Ross, who is 79, fun fact, I don't really care, is a donor and longtime associate of Trump's. As when you're a longtime associate of Trump's, you've been in some skeevy business deals. Having helped him resurrect his casinos company after it went bankrupt, of course it did, in the early 1990s. Over the years, Ross has grown rich by buying troubled companies in industries such as steel, textiles, auto parts, and coal. Coal, the Republicans! They hear coal, they're freaking out. Coal is their favorite thing. And steel as well, I guess. Resurrecting them often with significant layoffs and budget cuts. So basically, he resurrects these companies by stripping them of their workers and cutting budgets, and now he's going to be the Secretary of Commerce. He is said by Forbes to be worth $2.9 billion, making him the country's 232nd richest person. That's unbelievable that he's only 232. In 2002, he cobbled together several troubled steel companies to create the International Steel Group. He later sold the company to Midel Steel in the Netherlands. So, keeping jobs in the U.S., right. Ross is the chairman and chief strategy officer, as well as the founder of the private equity firm W.L. Ross & Co. This is the most interesting part. Among the darker chapters in his career was his involvement with the Sago mine in West Virginia. Shortly after his firm purchased the mine, an explosion there killed 12 miners. So he's famous for layoffs and budget cuts. Could said budget cuts have contributed to lower safety regulations where 12 miners were killed? Secretary of Commerce, everybody, for President-elect Donald Trump. And finally, Todd Ricketts, Deputy Secretary of Commerce. Who's this guy? Fun fact, co-owner of the Chicago Cubs. Now I'm thinking, should I have been rooting for the Cubs this year in the World Series? Doesn't take away from it. Such an amazing World Series. Holy cow. All right, he helped Trump win. How did he help Trump win? I'm sure it was just through big speeches and really caring about the American people and having a lot of gumption. Oh, never mind. He helped Trump win through the Future 45 Super PAC and the related Independenture 45 Committee, which does not have to disclose its donors. Money. Drain the swamp. The groups received a late fall infusion of cash through commitments from the casino magnate Sheldon Adelson and his wife Miriam, as well from Joe Ricketts, the patriarch of the family, founder of TD Ameritrade. The Adelsons gave $5 million to the Super PAC and pledged $25 million more to the effort to back Trump, and Joe Ricketts donated $1 million to the super PAC. So Joe Ricketts related to Todd Ricketts. Todd Ricketts told supporters in late September that the pro-Trump effort was on its way towards raising $70 million, CNN reported at the time. So he pretended to be kind of a Bernie Crap fundraiser, but then the only way he won, because he was so inept, was when the Mercers came on board and Todd Ricketts came on board. And then after Todd Ricketts came on board, Sheldon Adelson came on board. And now they're being rewarded with major cabinet positions that will only help line their pockets. Drain the swamp! Drain the swamp, everybody. So, here's where we have it. This basket of deplorables. I have taken that phrase from Hillary Clinton, and it is mine now, because she doesn't deserve to utter it. Because I say deplorables in a different light. I think that these kind of people, the money makers, the power players, not just some racists that voted for Donald Trump, and a lot of Trump voters aren't racist at all, just wanted their jobs back. That's not how I'm co-opting deplorables. I'm making deplorables about the big money makers who have conned all of these people into thinking they're going to help them when they're not. All right, guys. Have a lovely day.